Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
I'm Jess. Hello.
So this is, I guess, like our Thanksgiving episode, so happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's like
We had Thanksgiving together.
Indeed. Ate lots of food, and it was a typical Egan Thanksgiving, I would say. Jake got to experience it for the first time, in which the topics are typically sex and poop and
our dad,
our emotional, traumatic childhoods. Not necessarily in that order.
Well, the two outsiders just sitting there like, oh, God.
Sit in silence. Well, Jake was fucking vibing to the Charlie Brown music the whole time.
Oh, he was. Hell yeah.
He was just eyes closed, just head bobbing at the table.
No, he was.
Actually, did he do Thanksgiving with us last year?
Did he?
Did he? I think he must have.
Huh.
Okay, so maybe it's not his first time, but...
Okay.
We hope everyone listening had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
If they're Canadian.
Oh yeah, I guess Americans do it in November?
Yeah, it's November.
How weird. They think we're the freaks, though.
Yeah.
Well, happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was last night? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the day before that, we went to like a haunted farm and did some Halloween stuff. Our first Halloween event for the year.
Haunted Corn Maze has expanded to have multiple haunted things.
There's a haunted forest, haunted corn maze, and then this thing they called the pitch black, which was basically just like tunnels of complete blackness in which the actors are allowed to touch you and grab you.
Yeah. That was trippy.
Yeah, they made us wear these like glow sticks.
Stick necklaces.
Yeah, if we wanted the full experience of getting grabbed and touched and assaulted. And at first I was like, hell no, but everyone else in the group decided to put on the fucking glow sticks, so I didn't want to be a fucking pussy, so I did it too.
Mine broke when I tried to pull it over my hoodie, so I just held it.
Oh.
It means that they're not going to touch me. I was like, whatever.
Oh, so they didn't touch you at all?
Nope.
Well, I got grabbed and sucked into a vagina. Well, they have these really tight tunnel things with the bit you have to like squeeze through. I don't know what they are. It feels like, yeah, it's supposed to give you like claustrophobia or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like these two very squishy but dense like pads that are pressed against each other and you have to squeeze between them.
Mm-hmm.
I got grabbed and then yanked into one of those.
Oh my gosh.
Just screaming. Jake said he was like looking around for me, like, where'd she go?
Gone. She gone.
Yeah, I got fucking yoinked.
Yo, Eric got yoinked right behind me. Man, it was like so freaky to hear like that shriek of his, and then him like pulled into like nothingness and turning around and seeing nothing.
Oh
Like,
shit.
pull him into the wall. And then, like, hearing him screaming down the wall.
Oh, like on the other side of the wall?
Way to in front of us. Yeah, he, like, whoever it was, like, ran him down through the wall.
Damn.
Like, right past us, and then him go near where you and Jake were up front.
I
Yeah,
remember
like, his
seeing him.
screams are scary.
I saw him run in front, and I thought it was another actor. I was like, ah! Ah! And then they had, like, a little booth for drinks, and they were selling wine in blood bags, which was pretty sick.
Hell yeah.
I didn't
Pretty
get one, though.
overpriced.
It was very expensive.
It was very expensive.
I think today, after we're done recording, I'm gonna do some decorating, which I'm super fucking pumped about.
I want to do decorating, but Johnny's too tired to help. So I'll just do what I can.
I was gonna say, come back over and help us.
If you come over and help me.
Deal. Anyway, what are we drinking today?
Coffee with pumpkin spice creamer for comfort.
Aww.
My guinea pig died today.
Oh, yeah. Jessica's very ancient guinea pig finally passed away.
Yeah. I'm just glad that I was there.
Yeah. Pour one out for a good one.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Johnny
so old, though.
Poured some beer on his grave.
Not even like a whiskey, just some beer.
No, we don't have hard liquor. But he brought his Corona out and was like, here, have some Corona.
Aww. How old was he?
I've had him for maybe 6.5 years now.
That's
I don't know how old he was when we got him. He was passed on to us.
He was fully grown when you got him, though. Right?
He looked like it, but I really don't know much about guinea pig ages and how long it takes for them to be fully grown.
Probably not that long, but...
No, they're little rodents.
He was still very old for a guinea pig.
He was so old.
Every time I came over, I was like, they're still alive?
Right?
I feel kind of insensitive about it now, but...
I know. Like, we were ready, like, we're waiting for them to die, but it's still, like, really sad when it happens, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note...
Let's do some chapters.
I'm drinking a pumpkin patch tea, because
Oh,
yeah! Where did we leave off our characters?
Sansa has breakfast with Joffrey and the Lannisters, and she watches Joffrey open his wedding gifts, including the sword, Widow's Wail. Jaime has a vivid dream where he faces off against the White Cloaks who died during Robert's rebellion, and Brienne shows up to fight with him.
That was the last Jaime chapter?
Yeah. After waking up, Jaime insists on heading back to Harrenhal, where he saves Brienne from Bargo Hoat and takes her with them.
Dang. Wait, didn't he have that talk with Bolton, or was that the same chapter?
Was that a chapter before that? Because Bolton left when Jaime left.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right then. Well, we're starting with Sansa. I guess the last we saw her was actually in Tyrion's chapter. When Joffrey got
he was
fucking murked.
Looking for her and couldn't find her during the death of Joffrey.
Mm-hmm. Joffrey's dead!
Rip.
Joffrey's dead, Joffrey's dead, the evil Joffrey's dead. Okay. Chapter 61, Sansa. A bell begins to toll far across the city as Sansa waits in the Godswood. She can't believe Joffrey is dead. He hadn't been when she left the throne room, though. It was too terrible to watch him claw at his throat, so she had fled, sobbing. No matter how much you hate the guy, it's pretty disturbing.
It is.
But even now, she can't figure out why she's crying. I guess she's like, am I sad for Joffrey? That doesn't make sense.
She's scared and traumatized by seeing something so horrible.
Mm-hmm. But she doesn't know that. After fleeing, she had found her clothes where she had hidden them, I guess like the night before or something. And she changes. Sir Dantos told her to dress warmly and dark. When she pulls the net free from her hair, she notices a socket where a stone is missing. One of the black amethysts from Ashai is gone.
Oh. Someone couldn't keep their hands to themselves.
Terror fills her suddenly, though she tells herself she has no reason to be scared. It's only an amethyst, and it was loose and fell out.
You're telling yourself that.
Sir Dantos said the hairnet was magic, though, and she must wear it tonight at Joffrey's wedding feast. Well, that's not sus at all. And speaking of Sir Dantos, he suddenly staggers drunkenly into the Godswood, and Sansa asks him what kind of stones are in the hairnet. He says there are black amethysts from Ashai, but Sansa doesn't believe him anymore. She says there's murder in them. There's murder in the stones. And she accuses Sir Dantos of poisoning Joffrey with the stone. He hushes her and says they must hurry. The guards will be after her. They've already arrested her husband. She's like, Tyrion? And he's like, I didn't realize you had another one. But I took a moment to appreciate how she's being a decent human being and using his name.
Yeah, she did.
Which is interesting. Maybe that's because she has some respect for him, or maybe, which is probably more likely, maybe she doesn't want to think of him as her husband. And so she just calls him by his name.
Yeah.
Probably more likely that.
She has to, like, make sure that they were talking about him.
Yeah. Sansa begins to wonder if Tyrion was the one who poisoned Joffrey. He did hate him and did give him wine, but was he capable of such a thing? She realizes if Tyrion did it, they will think she was involved as well. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. They make their way through the city and end up outside the castle on top of a cliff. There's a river down below. Ser Dontos tells her they must climb down. There's a secret ladder carved into the stone. Sansa is scared at first and says she can't do it, but he tells her she's young and strong and he's more likely to fall than she is.
True.
Yeah. He used to fall off his horse. And he says that and says that was how we began. Joffrey wanted his head and she saved him. This guy's creeping me out.
Yeah.
He has a very weird, like, obsession with Sansa.
He does. It's pretty gross.
Just because she, like, said, don't kill him on your name day.
Yeah.
Mr. Joffrey. So they start heading down, Sansa following him, down the cliff. As she starts climbing down, she encourages herself by telling herself to be brave like a lady in a song.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. I feel like her songs have been kind of hindering her most of the time, but is this helping her now?
Yeah, and I think, like, shouldn't she have, like, recognized that songs aren't always true? But I guess in the moment of, like, fear, like, what she's going through, she's gotta seek for anything to at least bring her comfort.
Yeah. You kind of have to sometimes trick yourself into thinking, I don't know, maybe that things are more meaningful so that you can get through something?
Like, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah. Like a lady in a song.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of makes me think of at the farms when we did all the haunted stuff. It was pouring rain the entire time, and we were standing outside in the rain for like 3 hours pretty much. We all got soaked. It like soaked through my water resistant jacket.
Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of had to do the same thing, just like tell myself that I'm actually in a horror movie and I'm supposed to be uncomfortable so that I wouldn't be like whining the whole time about how miserable it was.
Oh, goodness.
The bell continues ringing in the castle her whole way down the cliff. At the bottom, they make their way downriver and meet a man in a small skiff. Just like a little boat, I guess. They get in and row out toward the channel. They row past Tyrion's winch towers and chain, and many broken ship pieces. Whenever Ser Dontos or Sansa try to talk to each other or the oarsmen, he hushes them instantly. I think he, like, points out that voices carry across the water.
Yeah, they do.
Interesting.
They sure do.
They make it out into Blackwater Bay and keep going and going until a galley emerges from the fog. It swings about towards them and drops a ladder. The rower helps Sansa up first and then follows, Ser Dontos staying behind in the boat. 2 sailors help pull Sansa up on board, and she hears a voice say she's cold. And she recognizes the voice. Lord Peter Baelish pulls off his cloak and wraps her in it.
That snake!
Fucking snake! Dontos calls from the boat that he's going to head back before they think to look for him. Littlefinger tells him he will grab him as payment of 10,000 dragons, and he summons Sir Luther for the reward. Luther dips his torch, then 3 men step up to the gunwale and fire crossbows at Dontos. Then Luther tosses his torch down onto the boat, and the galley moves away, as his little boat just burns.
He did.
He did. It all happens so fast that Sansa doesn't even have time to cry out. She just retches, says they killed him, and wonders if she has stumbled into something worse than the Lannisters. I mean, Littlefinger I feel like is a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, depending on how you play your cards.
The Lannisters...
He's so unpredictable.
Yes, I was just gonna say, the Lannisters' intentions are more obvious. With Littlefinger, you just never fucking know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
Which he's actually gonna talk about in a second, so... Littlefinger tells her grief is wasted on Dontos. He sold her for the promise of 10,000 dragons. Wow.
Gold.
Wow.
Can't really blame him.
I mean, 10,000 dragons, a lot of dragons.
It's all dragons.
But it's just like, why is everyone such a piece of shit? There's no one with any integrity.
Everyone has a price.
I guess that's true. But like, damn. Every time you think you found someone who's decent, it's like, nope.
Joke's on you.
Fool.
Fool.
I mean, not that we, like, thought he was a great guy. We just thought that maybe he actually cared about Sansa a little bit. At least I did.
Mm-hmm. Nah, son. Well, I did in the show.
Yeah. They like to... I guess they simplify the side characters a little bit more in the show.
Oh, they do. Like, cut out a bunch and then don't make the others as interesting.
Yeah. But again, like, the show is already so complicated and hard to follow with all the characters that I can't really... Sorry, say that again.
So there's already a shit ton of characters. Main characters.
Yeah. So I can't really blame them for, like, making some characters a little more simple so that the viewers actually know what's going on.
They're putting a few characters into one.
Oh, did they do that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Like, take a few side characters that do different things and then give one character that does all of that stuff.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'll point out when I see them during our episodes where we watch the show.
Okay, cool. So if you want to see those, join our Patreon. Okay. He sold her for the promise of 10,000 dragons. She will be a suspect in Joffrey's death, and as soon as the Gold Cloaks start offering payment for information on her whereabouts, Dantos would have sold her again.
You sure would.
Littlefinger says everything Dantos did, he did at Littlefinger's behest. Wow. Everything?
Damn.
Does he mean everything?
I think he might mean everything. But
Damn.
he was one of Littlefinger's cretins. I don't know what you'd call it. One of his guys, his spies?
One of his puppets?
Awesome. That's a good one. That's a good one. Maybe that's why he was so obsessed with Sansa, because he was working for Littlefinger this whole time.
You and Littlefinger would be obsessed with her.
Mm-hmm. We do know that.
He'll talk about that a little bit too. Let's just keep going. He reminds Sansa about the time he told her life is not a song, back on the day that her father sat the Iron Throne. She asks if it is all lies, and Littlefinger says almost everyone and everything, save for him and her. Okay. Littlefinger saying he's not a lie, of all things. LOL.
Sure.
He reveals that he is the one who left the note in her room to come to the Godswood. Oh, we all thought that was Dantos.
Mm-hmm.
He takes her below deck to show her her cabin, and asks her of the feast. Did Tyrion enjoy his jousting dwarves? He had to send to Braavos for them. Littlefinger had to convince Joffrey to have them at the wedding to bother his uncle.
He had to convince Joffrey.
Yeah.
Really?
So at first Littlefinger...
Joffrey would have loved that.
The situation went like this. Littlefinger approached Joffrey and was like, look, I can get some dwarves at the wedding. And Joffrey was like, I don't like dwarves. Why the fuck would I want dwarves at my wedding? And Littlefinger said the only person who would hate it more than you would be your uncle.
Oh.
Which is what made Joffrey be like, oh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that.
But what? Like, what was Littlefinger's... What were his intentions here?
I think it was a good way of framing Tyrion. If Tyrion's pissed off, he's an easy target, an easy scapegoat.
But did Littlefinger know that Joffrey was going to be killed? How could he know that?
It's part of the plan. It was Dantos who told Sansa that she needed to wear this hairnet.
Oh, true.
Because it's magical, and Dantos is working for Littlefinger.
Oh.
So he definitely was in on the plan.
Damn.
Removing Joffrey.
There's just so many moving pieces that I'm like, how does he organize all of this? And what is he promising all these people? Like, there's people who are also involved that we're not talking about yet because it hasn't been revealed, but he gets all these people involved. He has to obviously make promises to all of them.
Yep.
So that they will help him.
I'm just find it crazy that they trusted him.
They all trust him. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
gosh.
god.
Like a schemer, like they really gambled
Yeah.
to work with him, but they did it.
I think he's just very persuasive. It's not necessarily
Oh
that
yeah.
they trust him, but I think that he would use the correct words to kind of trick them into thinking this is the best course of action.
I agree with that. He's definitely really good at manipulating people.
Hmm.
That's why he is where he is today.
I would argue he's more clever than Tyrion.
Oh,
Significantly more
yeah.
clever.
Yup, way more.
Yeah. I think
I
that
guess that's why Tyrion is scared, the word, but he has deep weariness for Littlefinger.
oh,
In his chapters, he mentions that, like, when he does think of Littlefinger, it's very much like being amazed at how smart he is and what he was doing and trying to figure him out, but also like being very worried, like, what's his plan? What is he going to do? Like, he knows that this guy is conniving
uh-huh.
always, and he like has no idea what he's up to, what his plan is. He has no idea, and
Yeah.
that kind of scares Tyrion.
That would scare anyone, I think.
It would.
So it was all part of the plan to make them accuse Tyrion, I guess. And kind of at the same time make Sansa have to rely on him. Because if they accuse Tyrion, they're going to accuse Sansa as well. So she needs like someone to hide her and protect her, I guess.
Oh my god, what if this whole scheme was just so that he can get his disgusting hands on Sansa?
Oh, that is it. That is it.
Yeah, definitely.
He does not
He doesn't
care.
care about Joffrey and all
No.
that. He just wanted Sansa.
Ugh.
Wow.
Wow. Sansa says they think Tyrion poisoned Joffrey and he has been seized. Littlefinger says widowhood will suit her well, and Sansa wonders if that's what she wanted. Yeah, I think she feels for Tyrion to some capacity because he's been kind to her.
Yeah, she knows that he's like, of all the Lannisters, that he's like the least terrible.
Mm-hmm. At her cabin, Sansa asks why Littlefinger would do all this for her, especially after Joffrey gave him Harrenhal and made him Lord Paramount of the Trident. Littlefinger says that he has no motive for wanting Joffrey dead. He likes to keep his foes confused, though. If they never know who he is or what he wants, they can't know what he will do next. Sometimes the best way to baffle them is to make moves that seem to have no purpose or even seem to work against you. He tells Sansa to remember that when she comes to play the game. When she asks what game, he says, well, the Game of Thrones, of course.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. He then tells her that her mother and him were more than friends. There was a time when Cat was all he wanted in the world, but he could never have her hand. But she gave him something finer, a gift a woman can give but once. He says that's why he couldn't turn his back on her daughter. In a better world, Sansa might have been his. And that's the end of that chapter.
Is he claiming that he took Catelyn's V card? Because I'm pretty sure he did not.
That's what it seems like to me. He's saying that Cat gave him her virginity. But I'm getting very confused. Like, why would he...
Like, is he delusional?
Is he delusional? Or is he... Oh my god. Oh my god. I have... Something just hit me.
Eh?
What if Lysa pretended to be Cat and seduced him?
Like, if he were drunk?
Yeah, if he was drunk or they were, like, in a dark room or something.
Oh my god.
I feel like he believes that he did get Cat's virginity.
Wow. That is really sick.
Because he always had a thing for Cat. Why would he do anything with Lysa? But we're pretty
They
sure
didn't really
that...
explain that in the show. Like, the second best wasn't really that believable for me. I don't see Littlefinger settling for second best.
And why would he do anything to hurt his chances with Cat? Doing something with Lysa would absolutely hurt his chances with Cat.
It would.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow. Because what reason would he have to lie to Sansa about this?
To manipulate her into believing he had a relationship with her mom, and to make her believe that he's her father. Or taking on a father role.
Yeah, I guess so. That's fair.
It's not above lying. This guy is not above lying.
That's true. But I don't know. It's just weird. Like, he's...
It is. Because it could be that Lysa did trick him.
Yeah. I don't know why. It just feels really weird for him to be lying about this. Because, I mean, I don't know. It's like really, really fucking gross to lie about that sort of thing. But I'm not that that's beyond Peter, but I don't know. I feel like he's more honest than that. He's good at manipulating people, but I don't know.
Oh no.
I can't put it into words, but something about him lying about that feels off to me.
It does.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Anyway, I feel like that might be what happened. Lysa seduced him pretending to be Cat.
Ooh.
Which is also disgusting.
Yeah, that would be pretty gross.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was so grossed out by it that he blocked that memory and changed it so that it was Catelyn.
That's also possible, I guess. Shit. Wow. This mystery with Lysa and Cat and Littlefinger is just getting more and more complicated.
I'm actually pretty excited to learn more.
Yeah.
About how different it is from the show.
Hell yeah. I don't remember at all what happens in the show, so I guess that's that. Hey everyone, just a quick aside. We just became affiliates of Buzzsprout, which is the hosting platform we use for our podcast. If you are interested in creating your own podcast, please consider using Buzzsprout. It made it easy to get our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and dozens of other streaming platforms. They also provide you with a podcast website, detailed analytics to see how your episodes are performing, and tons of guides on how to improve your listenability. And if you follow our link in the episode description, you will get a $20 Amazon gift card when you sign up for a paid plan, and it helps support our show. Thank you. Back to the episode. I guess we can move on to Jaime, chapter 62.
Jaime is spending the night in an inn. While there, Jaime is told that Joffrey is dead, murdered by the imp and his wife, who has vanished, and left behind a ghostly direwolf with blood dripping from its jaws.
Wait, what? They're saying that was left behind from Sansa?
Yeah, so this is the small talk from the small folk. This is the talk from the small folk going on in the inn, that she just disappeared and left behind this ghostly direwolf with blood from its jaws, as if the direwolf killed Joffrey.
Why do people think the Starks are such, like, mysterious demon creatures?
Probably because of the war, and it's an easy blame. Blame the Starks.
And people did actually see Grey Wind fighting alongside Robb, so that is in itself, like, pretty crazy, so I can imagine people, like, exaggerating.
I really love how gossip spreads in Westeros.
Oh, yeah.
And the stories, the tales that the small folk come up with.
So entertaining.
Jaime thinks about how Cersei must be mourning, and the next day makes the group ride hard to get to her faster. He also notices that he isn't that saddened by Joffrey's death. He's more concerned about Cersei.
His feelings about Joffrey are so interesting.
They arrive at dusk. One of the Bolton soldiers is shocked by the stink of the city. Like, every chapter where they bring someone into the city, there's always a comment like this. What's that stench?
That's
so also
King's Landing.
Interesting. I think that's really cool. Also to have that included. That big cities freaking stink of shit and death.
Shit and piss and
death.
People getting murdered in the streets.
True, or just dying of starvation.
And disease, yeah.
Yep.
The more people there are, the more disease there's gonna be.
We were sure it's especially amongst the poor where they're crammed together. Jaime is curious about why he isn't all that bothered by Joffrey's death. He was there when Cersei gave birth to him, but Cersei had forbidden him from holding Joffrey, fearing that it might look strange, or people might see the resemblance between the two of them.
Right.
Jaime didn't really care anyways, and thought of Joffrey as a thing that took up too much of Cersei's time and love.
He's fucking jealous of Joffrey.
Yeah. Yup, he didn't like that she took away his sister from him.
Wow. That's obviously like super twisted and gross, but it's pretty human, I think.
Yeah, at least he acknowledges this is a strange. Because he thinks, aren't fathers supposed to like rip their hair out from the pain of losing a child? Like, but not me. He's like, huh? If the father, one of the seven, were to come down from the heavens and offer him Joffrey or his hand back, he knew that he would choose his hand.
Wow.
He's very aware that he really does not care much for his son.
I think part of that is also that he like never really got the chance to be a father to him.
Mm-hmm.
He was always the uncle.
Mm-hmm. Doing his duty.
If he actually got to raise Joffrey, that would, I think, be a very different story.
I think slightly different, because even then, he's still the thing that took his sister from him.
Yeah, but if he also has a relationship with Joffrey, I think he would be less jealous. It would probably still be, like, weird feelings there, because I think that happens in reality, too. Like, partners will get jealous of the children of their partners, and I mean, even if it's your own child, too. I've read quite a few stories on Reddit, where the husband, when, like, the wife gave birth, the husband did not feel a connection to their child immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And felt very, like, strange, I guess, and, like, felt guilty first for not feeling connected to their child, even though that's normal. But, I mean, I get it. And secondly, yeah, like, feeling a degree of jealousy with how much time their partner has to spend with the baby.
Oh, yeah. Why aren't they spending time with the baby? Mama sleep in for a while?
Yeah. I guess there's still a lot of traditional family dynamics in the world.
Sexist ideas.
Yeah.
This will all be fixed if you stop practicing these.
But also, like, the person who has the breasts is probably going to be spending more time with the baby.
For the breast to be done.
Yeah. I think once you develop a relationship with the child, the feelings change and shift.
And Joffrey could have been different too if he had a father figure. I think Cersei attributes a lot of Joffrey's weird personality to trying to get his father's attention and just being like smacked around. He has daddy issues. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about how little Robert cared about his bastard children, but then he didn't even give a shit about his actual children.
He did not.
His what would you call it? His true-born children? Yeah.
Who turned out not to be true-born.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks that they're his actual children, so.
He didn't give two shits.
He didn't give any shits. Anyway.
Jaime turns around and rides to find Brienne, who had been following at a distance. He notices that she's still in mourning and finds it curious that her grief for Catelyn and Robb, whom she'd barely known, ran deeper than his for Joffrey.
Oh, she must feel like such a failure. She's
first
like
friendly, now Catelyn.
Exactly. She's pledging her life to these people to defend them, and they're all dying.
Yeah.
And she can't do anything about it.
Cannot. He tells her that she had completed her quest to bring him back to King's Landing, and she dully reminds him that she can only complete half of her quest now because she can't even bring Sansa back because she's missing.
Oh.
Jaime offers to get her safe passageway back to her father or a place in court as a gold cloak, but she refuses. And he bites back a mean retort and politely says, okay, if I'm going back to the head of the column. Jaime is really changing. He still thinks really nasty things about her, like wench in his head, but like to her, he is polite to her face now. Like he's no longer pulling her down, calling her names, saying mean things.
Also, like, the first thing you think in your head, I think I've seen it argued before that that's more like the society's kind of conditioning. Exactly, it's your conditioning will be the first thought in your head. But it's what you choose to do and what you choose to say, which is what makes you who you actually are. So if you're having nasty thoughts, those don't really matter if you don't, like, act on them.
Yeah. It's how you act. It's who you are.
Exactly.
So I think, like, the fact that he has changed during this is pretty amazing.
And so quickly.
Yeah. I guess losing his hand was a big blow to his confidence. And having her bring him back up to wanting to live again also helped out too.
Yeah, it wasn't just a blow to his confidence. It was a blow to his whole
Life.
Persona. Like, he's not who he thought he was anymore.
Like, those, like, times where he was like, who am I without my right hand?
Exactly.
Like, without his sword hand. Like, is life even worth it? Jaime notices a line of merchants outside the city gates, which is new, and he's told by the guards that there's now a tax imposed on anyone who wants to sell inside of the city by command by the new master of coin, who he also learns is Tyrion. They are let in, and they head to the Red Keep. Jaime notices as he travels that no one recognizes him. He finds it unusual.
Well, yeah, he looks like he fucking soggy rat.
He looks like shit. He's dirty. He's stinky.
He's nasty.
Yes. At the gates of the Red Keep, Sir Mern recognizes Jaime, and that's the men. Jaime asks where his father is, and he's told that he's in the meeting with Lord Tyrell and Prince Oberyn. He then asks where Cersei is, and is told that she's in the set praying over Joffrey. Sir Loras is there, and he interrupts when he realizes that Brienne is with them. Sir Loras is now a White Cloak, in case anyone forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Member of the King's Guard. Sir Loras storms up to her and demands why she killed Renly. Brienne tries to explain, but Sir Loras doesn't want to hear an explanation. He was just asking for, I guess, effect.
Yeah.
He just draws his sword on her.
He's just announcing to everyone that this woman killed Renly.
Yeah. Jaime gets in between them. Sir Loras tells him that this is no concern of his, and Jaime firmly reminds him that he is Lord Commander of the King's Guard and orders him to sheath his sword. Sir Loras angrily complies, but demands Brienne is arrested and charged with the murder of Lord Renly.
Ooh.
Jaime is like, okay, and he orders her arrest, and he tells Loras that she is more honorable than he is, and that he does not believe she murdered Renly. As she's led away, she looks at him all hurt. And he gets kind of pissed off and thinks about how everyone misunderstands everything he does.
He's like, I'm doing this to protect you.
He's like, I'm not doing this mean. I'm not being malicious. God. Why does everyone think I'm an asshole? God.
But that's interesting. Like, why would he care what she thinks?
Yeah. Same reason why he came back for her in Harrenhal, I think.
I think he likes her. I think he likes her.
Jaime stalks off into the set and finds Cersei kneeling before the altar of the mother, while Joffrey's bier, which I had no idea what that was. I googled it. It's a movable frame on which a coffin or a corpse is placed for burial or cremation.
Oh, okay.
So Joffrey's bier is laid out beneath the stranger. Cersei turns to look at the sound of his footsteps and says his name. It's like, Jaime, is that really you?
Is that you, Jaime?
Jaime takes her in his arms, and she tells him that he should have come sooner to protect their son. She is shocked by how thin he is and his lack of hair, which I think a few chapters ago he chopped off because of the lice.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's like, well, that's nothing, and shows her his stump. Tells her that it was Vargo Hoat. She has no idea who that is. Cersei turns to Joff's body and tells him that Tyrion killed him, and quotes when Tyrion said to her, "One day I will find myself safe and happy, and he will turn her joy into ash in her mouth." Jaime asks why Tyrion would say that, and Cersei says it was for a whore, and she knows it was him because Joffrey pointed at Tyrion when he was dying. Clearly, Tyrion killed
Clearly, yeah. The guy who was dying and fighting for his life was fucking with it enough to point at his killer before he passed away.
Yeah. She asks Jaime to kill Tyrion to avenge their son. Jaime reminds her that Tyrion is their brother and refuses until he knows more about what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Cersei says that he will learn soon enough what happened at the trial and slides into his arms, giving him a kiss. She tells him that she is not whole without him. Jaime kisses her back hungrily and she's like, "Oh, stop." But he keeps going and lifts her up on the mother's altar and screws her. As they break, she tells him to hurry. Then she tells him over and over that he's home. And as soon as he finishes, she shoves him off and fixes her skirts. She warns him that they should not be doing that in public, or they're gonna get caught. But he's like, fuck that, Targaryens wed sisters and brothers, and he asks her to marry him.
What the fuck?
Cersei asks if he lost his wits at River Run, and tells him that he's scaring her. She tells him that she's going to go to question Sansa's mates who are locked in a tower, and tells him that he should visit their father. Jaime tells her that he crossed 1,000 leagues to get to her. He does not want to leave her, but she tells him again to go. So he does. He heads to the Tower of the Hand. The Lannister guards there recognize him and thank the gods that he's back. Jaime says that the gods had no part in it. It was Catelyn Stark and Roose Bolton who gave him back.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I like that
he's giving them credit.
Yeah, he's like, it was them. Come on, these are good people.
Mm-hmm.
Stop being douchebags. He climbed the tower, enters his father, Solar. Lord Tywin says that he's been expecting. Lord Tywin turns around on his chair with a cat in his lap. I've been expecting you. Just kidding. He says he's been expecting him earlier and hoped that he would be there for the wedding. And apparently Lord Varys had been keeping him updated with Jaime's whereabouts and what he'd been doing.
Oh, okay.
Jaime asks if Varys told him about his stump. Tywin is furious, thinking that it was Catelyn who did this, but Jaime is like, no, it was Vargo Hoat. The goat. Apparently Sir Gregor Clegane had taken back Harrenhal and had removed Hoat's hands and feet.
Oh my.
But is keeping him alive because he seems amused by his slobbering.
The fuck?
Whoa.
This is fucking twisted.
Yeah, yeah, he was a douche, but does he deserve that?
Okay, sorry, it was his hands and his feet cut off? Anything else?
Yup. Both hands, both feet. And it's just, that's all I know.
Wow.
He's being kept alive because he likes his lisping slobbers.
What the fuck?
And he was also feverish when he was found, so he's also pretty out of it. Ooh.
I see.
The rest of the brave companions had scattered, but Tywin has plans of having them hunted down and killed. Good. Fuck them all. Tywin says that he has a gift for him, but Jaime is like, no, that can wait. And he asks how Joffrey died. Tywin tells him that it was poison, served in the wine by Tyrion. And he says Tyrion will get the king's justice. Jaime is shocked. He asks if he really means to execute his own son, but Tywin tells him that he's accused of regicide and kinslaying, and there's a lot of evidence against him.
What evidence?
Yeah, Jaime knows the sort of evidence
it's literally all circumstantial.
And he points out Renly's strange death was also pretty similar. Tywin says, no, there was some woman from Tarth who killed him. But Jaime is like, no, the same woman brought him back safely to King's Landing, and he would sooner believe in Renly's ghost than in Brienne killing Renly. He tries to bring up the sorcery that Stannis has been accused of using, but Tywin thinks that it's foolish. There's no such thing as magic.
Okay, dude.
It was poison that killed Joffrey, plain and simple. Tywin tells Jaime that he cannot serve in the King's Guard anymore without his right hand, and now that Cersei has ended the lifelong oath of the King's Guard by dismissing Sir Barristan, he will have Jaime dismissed so he can be Lord of Casterly Rock, as is his duty.
Yikes.
He wants Tommen to go with him to be his ward and squire, and he means to marry Cersei to someone else, possibly Oberyn Martell.
Wait. Tywin wants Tommen to go with Jaime?
Yep. He wants Tommen to be raised into a man by Jaime. at
But how
Casterly
is
Rock.
Tommen supposed to be king if he's at Casterly Rock?
He's too young to be king, I guess. And I guess Tywin is planning on sitting on the throne until Tommen becomes of age.
Oh, like an
As the hand of the king.
interim king.
Yeah, because he's too young. He's younger than he was in the show.
I see.
I think he's around Bran's age. That's single-digit age.
Right.
He's really young. And I guess he wants the Lannister doctrine brainwashing him with Lannister ideals.
Oh, yeah.
He says that the Tyrells are insisting on marrying Marjorie to Tommen, but he wants to offer Jaime instead.
Oh.
Jaime refuses. He's disgusted with all this duty bullshit. He tells his father, hell no. He does not want Marjorie, and he does not want his rock. Tywin remains silent for a long time as a vein throbs in his neck, which makes Jaime pretty uncomfortable sitting there watching this rain. So when he finally speaks, it is to tell Jaime that he is no longer his son, and tells him to go on with his duty as Lord Commander of the King's Guard, and dismisses him.
Dude.
That is that chapter.
What fucking son would be good enough for Tywin?
One that's just like him. One who cares more about the Lannister name than about themselves.
You know what?
Or their families.
It would be Tyrion if Tyrion wasn't a dwarf.
It would be.
It would be Tyrion.
So smart too.
He's so much like Tywin too. He uses his name for like power, and he flaunts his money, and he's cunning and clever.
Sure is.
Wow.
Yep, but too bad he was born a dwarf. All dwarfs are bastards in their father's eyes.
Holy shit. Tywin rejects Jaime? Damn!
Well, Jaime rejected him first.
I guess that's true. Tywin disowning him is pretty huge.
Yep. Jaime rejecting the marriage to Marjorie was a big insult to him, too. Rejecting his duty, huge insult. Because Tywin's all about duty to the Lannister name. He definitely hates that Jaime does not care for any of that bullshit. He just wants his sister. That's all he wants in life.
And Tywin just cares about their image and their power.
Cares about their family. Make sure that they're successful. The most powerful family in Westeros.
Yeah. So there's that. There's a part earlier when Cersei's telling him about Tyrion going to trial or whatever. Jaime starts to think about the past when he like lied to Tyrion or something. But I didn't really.
Did he not go into it? It was just briefly. He lied to him once.
No, yeah, it didn't go into it. But I was like, okay, I'm thinking about the marriage thing with the whore and like tricking him so that he could get his dick wet or whatever. But it doesn't seem like it's only that, because this still keeps coming up in Jaime's thoughts. And I feel like that can't be all that it is. Because Tyrion knows about that.
I know what happened. I don't want to say because it's going to spoil it.
Okay.
But that makes sense. That he has a lot of remorse for something.
Okay,
that
so...
he lied to Tyrion.
What? He lied to Tyrion?
He lied to Tyrion for his father. And he has a lot of remorse for that.
What the fuck? What is it? Was this in the show?
No, it was not.
Oh, how do you know what it is then?
I watch a lot of things that talk a lot about family dynamics and lore. And sometimes there are no spoiler alerts on these videos. So I'm just like, okay.
Oh, now I know a little too much.
I do.
Interesting. What could it be? Jaime did something on Tywin's behalf to Tyrion, I'm guessing. And then lied to Tyrion about it. Or he just did it to Tyrion and Tyrion doesn't know?
I don't want to.
Oh, you can tell me whether... Right? That's not going to spoil anything if you tell me whether he lied to him or he just did something to him.
He did something and was told to lie and lied.
Okay. Interesting.
And that's all I want to give, because
okay.
You're too smart for me. Because you're going to figure it out if I give you anything more.
Oh. Damn. Okay, I want to make at least one guess, and you don't have to tell me whether I'm right. But
okay. I'll just say okay.
let me see. Okay, something. Is it possible that I could guess it without knowing anything, or is this like I don't have nearly enough information?
No idea where your thoughts are gonna be.
Okay. Jaime did something and was told to lie about it. Okay, but he was clearly told by Tywin to lie about it. Oh, shit. I think I know what it is. It has something to do with the mom, right? Don't tell me if I'm right. Okay. Okay. I think it has something to do with their mom.
Okay.
I think that maybe Tyrion didn't actually, quote unquote, kill his mom when he was born. Maybe she was already sick, or maybe she died for another reason. I don't know. But that's my guess. That the lie was that Tyrion killed his mom during childbirth.
Okay. Cool.
All right. What else did I want to bring up about this? Oh, okay. The fucking in the sept.
The fucking in the set.
So in the show, they kind of fuck right on top of Joffrey's dead body.
Yeah.
Which is so nasty.
Oh.
Is that what happened here too? I couldn't figure out. Like, there was Joffrey's beer and there was the altar.
On the beer underneath the stranger. They did it on the mother's altar.
Okay, so not.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was right there. There's his dead body.
Yeah, but fucking on top of Joffrey's body, I feel like is.
That's pretty sick. Like, it's like, whoa. Like, they are really messed up here.
I feel like it's a really good way to show how messed up it is, though. So it makes me wonder if, like, maybe George thinks about that and he's like, maybe I should have had them fuck on top of Joffrey.
More shock value.
Yeah. Well, it's not just the shock value. It says a lot about them, I think.
Sure does.
So there's that. And then, okay, Cersei, when she was talking to Jaime, she kind of knew right away that he was changed. She even says it to his face. She was like, "You're changed." So I was wondering what you think is so changed about him that she would pick up on it right away.
He doesn't seem as, like, conceited, superior, all of that. And I think now he's just a lot more humbled. And I think it might be, like, coming off, like, maybe in his posture as well, that he isn't as self-absorbed.
Okay. I was wondering if maybe their whole lives, I feel like Jaime has kind of just followed Cersei's lead and kind of just does whatever she wants. But I feel like now he's kind of voicing his own
wants and
needs. He's telling her that this is what he needs from her, and she is not down with being told what to do.
True. He has always, he mentioned in the chapter that he basically does what she tells him to do.
Yeah. I feel like that could be partly.
Yeah, he definitely was a little bit assertive by telling her his feelings.
Yeah, and it's not like he was making demands from her. He was just voicing, like, what he needs.
Yeah, he straight up told her that he felt a certain way and she didn't like it. I guess she doesn't like her men having feelings.
Well, I think she just wants him to have the feelings that she wants him to have.
I guess. She just wants a little life.
She is disgustingly self-centered. If we thought Jaime was self-centered, Cersei's on another level.
Cersei is on another level.
She does not... She might love Jaime, but she does not think of him as his own person. She thinks of him as a part of herself. And
extension of her ego?
Exactly. And so if her, if her arm is not obeying the brain, there's something wrong.
Classic narcissism. That's what that is. Not really viewing other people as individual people, but as extensions of their ego.
Damn.
If they're like family members or close to them.
Damn. All right, well, that's going to have to be it for this episode then.
Wow.
Who do we have next? We have
Davos.
We have Jon. We have
Arya.
So join us next time to see what happens with them. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at TIGBAB Podcast or follow us individually. My handle is Crimby and Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we will show up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Bahrami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle, which you heard at the start of the episode, and he makes some really cool music. That's Bahram. You can also find him on Spotify as Bahrambient. That's Bahrambient. And please check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tea-themed tiers with fun rewards, including outtakes, BTS stuff, and mini-episodes in which we force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, which he absolutely hates. So it makes for some fun discussions/arguments. Finally, if you would be willing to share the podcast with your family and your friends, it would be a huge help to us to grow the podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Have a happy Thanksgiving. For the Americans, I guess that would be next month, but...
Or happy Halloween!
We are gonna have 2 more episodes before Halloween.
Yeah, true.
So.
Ooh, our Halloween episode needs to be spooky.
Ooh, yeah, we should try and come up with something special to do for that one. Anyway, decorate your houses.
Carve some pumpkins.
Spookfest, carve pumpkins. Enjoy your Thanksgiving turkey. Bye-bye.
Ah!